Folkestone Auto Supply, located at 4439 2nd Street North in Folkestone, Georgia, is owned and operated by the Dasher family. They have everything you need, bumper to bumper, for domestic and foreign car parts. Big truck operators, they have you covered as well with belts, seals, hoses, welding supplies, and so much more. They even have lawnmower parts, blades, and accessories. Stop by today and see the whole crew. Miss Joe, Pam, Little Sammy, Stephen, Dylan, and Big Sammy himself. It's Folkestone Auto Supply.
Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics, located at 3885 Main Street in the heart of downtown Folkestone. They're Folkestone's original hometown pharmacy with 49 years serving the community. They have everything you need, including household items, prescription medications, high-tech electronics, and much more. Their experienced and friendly staff in the pharmacy and electronics department are ready to serve you. Folkestone Pharmacy and Electronics is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sports. Go Indians!
Good evening and welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. I'm Adam Dell for Charlton Sportsnet along with Indians head coach Rich McWhorter. It's playoff week, Coach, but before we dive into the Montgomery County Eagles, we had a big game Friday night where the offense had a heck of a show, especially in the first half of the game.
Well, it was good to finish off region play with a big win against Lanier County here at home, senior night, which is always great. The offense did play really well. A.J. Bell had 9 carries for 93 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also A.J. had 17 completions for 309 yards passing for 4 touchdowns. Also, Raekwon Anderson had 2 touchdowns and caught 156 yards worth of balls from A.J. And we were able to spread the ball around, I think, to 7 different guys, which is really good. I'm really proud of the way we were able to get the ball up and down the field on offense. Defensively, we held them to minus 12 yards rushing. A lot of that came because of sacks. We had 7 sacks on the night, and I know our kids were really getting after them because we also had a lot of roughing the quarterback penalties, but our kids were just real relentless getting after the quarterback. But we gave up 220 yards in the air, and 3 touchdowns. That's disappointing. We've struggled all year long in the secondary, and that continued to be the case. Our pass rush is really good, but our secondary coverage wasn't real good at all.
It was a great game. I think we scored on, I think you probably already mentioned, our first every possession first half.
Yep, this is the first game where we actually had to start the game off with a kickoff. Every game other than that, we've always received it, and of course, when we did finally get the ball back, we were able to score our first possession, which is really good. I think every game but one this year, we were able to score on our first possession, and that's one of our offensive goals, is to be able to do that, is to be able to put points on the board first. So our guys did a really good job there. As far as our defensive line, Bryce Manning had 2 sacks, and then Malik Alderman, Daniel Mack, Eric Milton, and then linebacker Travis Ray all had a sack. And then our leading tackler was Eric Milton with 4.5 tackles. Eric did a great job. Just like I said, the 2 negatives for us would be way too many penalties. We had 9 penalties for 110 yards, and we gave up 220 yards in passing and 3 touchdowns. So that's something we've worked hard on this week, is to try to stop that.
Defense had a big game as well, and obviously with all those sacks. Eric Milton getting it done with 4.5. I know you just mentioned that as well.
Yep.
It was a great game all the way around. The second half, some B-team guys got in, and I have a couple of highlights from Tony Cobb from Camden. He had a nice little showing in that fourth quarter.
Tony Cobb, he went in the fourth quarter at running back, and he had 6 carries for 40 yards. So he had he did a nice job. Tony's a freshman. I think I feel like, with another year in the weight room and with track this spring, he'll be a starter next year, probably in the secondary, maybe even at running back for us next year. So I think he's going to be a good player for us.
That was a nice game to have coming into the playoffs. You got Montgomery County coming to town this week. That was back and forth all weekend long. I know you guys had to be going crazy up here Saturday morning trying to decide which film to review.
Well, actually, some of our coaches were reviewing more than one team. There was a point where we thought it might be Towns County from way north Georgia. We had some film on them. Some of our guys went ahead and started breaking them down. And then we thought it was going to be Dooley County. And we had quite a bit of film on them, so we started on that. And then when we found out it was going to be Montgomery, we finally threw all that away and then jumped right on to Montgomery. So we got to look at some other teams, but we it was a long weekend looking at a couple different teams, but finally we were able to zero in really for sure Sunday on Montgomery County. Then we really got to work on them.
All right. Before we dive into more of Montgomery, if you don't mind, Coach, let's go back and look at the highlights from last week.
Sure.
First two are B team, both of them long runs by Tony Cobb.
Our B team played here Thursday. Exciting game. It was 40-something, 2-point game. Tony Cobb really, he's had a great year carrying the football, playing defense, catching the ball. Right here, he gets hit in the backfield, just makes a move and keeps on going. He's got really good speed. Again, a guy, he's going to benefit tremendously from track and from the weight room this winter.
This is the second one, it almost looks like the identical run when you pull it up. Well, that was a shootout Thursday night too.
Yeah, it really was. Not a lot of defense being played. The young guys spend more time working offense throughout the year than defense, and you really try to piece together a defense. And just another great run, great finish there by Tony.
All right, coming up next is the first touchdown run from Friday night versus Lanier.
This is our empty set, no backs, and of course, pretty much always have right here, AJ, has an opportunity to throw the ball pretty quick. He gets flushed out of the pocket, takes it in the end zone. That was a designed pass, but of course with the option to run it if it doesn't look good. And AJ does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield. Didn't like what he saw, and then of course just took it up and got it in the end zone. That's been a huge difference maker for us this year as his ability to run the football.
Here's number 2. This one is the actually a quick pitch and catch and a long run after the catch by Raquan.
Great job on the dig route by Raquan, and we had a Y shallow on that, and just a great run. Needs to finish it across the goal line, but again, a good job by AJ avoiding the rush, biding more time, and finding his open receiver. Just another great job, great throw, great catch, and great run by Raquan.
This next one is in the second quarter. I believe this is another touchdown run.
This is a sprint out with the run pass option built in. AJ has the opportunity to run it if he sees it, or to throw it if he sees that. So this is really the quarterback's option. We've got different kind of drags, shoot route by the underneath guy, and he really had a couple of choices right there. He probably could have threw it to Raquan for the touchdown, or took it himself, and it was a great job right there running it in.
This one, I believe, is a quick out to Raquan again, I believe. No, I'm sorry, that's the end zone.
Yeah. Again, right here, AJ getting away from pressure. This is where his game's really improved is he's got his vision downfield, steps up, replaces pressure, excuse me, and able to get the ball to a wide open, I believe, wide open. I think is that Brantley Sloan or Raekwon right there again? I'm not sure.
Couldn't tell on the replay if that was number 2 or 3.
Yeah, I can't see real well either.
Go ahead. All right. And here's the next one. This is the one I thought was.
Yeah, good job blocking there by Devin Snowden, number 37, senior wide receiver. Devin also had 3 catches on his own Friday night, but right here he's just being unselfish. Great job blocking, getting Raekwon in the end zone. That's something that Devin Snowden just does a great job for us is in that part of the game.
And then the final score of the first half, and turned out to be the final score of the game for us, but there it is.
Great job there of AJ Agoy, again, eluding pressure, really dangerous on the run, finds an open guy, connects with him, and this was what made it 41 points in the first half, and we came out the second half, received the kickoff with the intent on, we want to keep our starters in for one more series, but even then we still had a few replacements, and then kind of turned it over to the defense for the rest of the game and to the younger guys for the rest of the game also. So offense really only got to play a half Friday night, did a great job. Just the job that AJ has done has just really been incredible. On the year, the stat on the year that's really impressive, if people are in the numbers, AJ's had 2,553 yards on the year. He's averaging 281 yards a game, which is really incredible. That's fantastic stuff, and that's been the big difference in our offense is the job that AJ's done, and throwing the ball, run the ball, and he's been such a much better player than last year. Just really came on and has done a great job, and that's to be honest with you, that's why we're sitting here 7-2 and not 2-7 like we were a year ago. Like I told the players yesterday, Monday, I said a year ago today we were in here cleaning up the locker room, and then we didn't like that very much. We didn't like how that made us feel, and so we did something about it, and now a year later we're getting ready for the first round of the playoffs at home. So it's just a great job by especially our senior leadership, and a lot of our guys and our coaching staff have done a great job this year also to get us to this point.
2 highlights I failed to grab, Coach. Was the 2 interceptions. The first one by Trayvon Green, and I think the second was by Saquon Clark, but it got called back, but it was a fantastic catch.
Yeah, it really was. Trayvon, he's getting better all the time, and so is Saquon. Those guys are both sophomore defensive backs. They've had trial under fire a little bit this year. There's times where they've struggled, but I think they're getting better. You ain't going to find a better defensive back coach than they got, Coach David Pender. And he's working hard with them, but Trayvon did have a great interception for us. And Trayvon's a kid, I think, if we can get him really to buy into the weight room and buy into the track, he's a guy that, with his stature, could be a next-level guy if he'll buy into the weight program. And that's where we need him to get to right now.
Coach, we're going to take a quick break and let you get a drink of water. I know you're under the weather. I appreciate you doing the show with us tonight while you're a little sick.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Since 2009, Southeastern Automotive Group has been buying for and selling to most of the franchise dealerships in the area. What if you were able to bypass the big dealerships with the big markups? Buy direct from the supplier. Save thousands of dollars on your next vehicle purchase. Have a trade-in? No problem. With used vehicles in such high demand, Southeastern Automotive Group has dealers ready to buy your trade. If Southeastern Automotive Group doesn't have the perfect vehicle for you, using their vehicle locator program, they will have it shipped in without any hassle or haggling you hate. With over hundreds of thousands of cars available at auctions across the nation, your next vehicle purchase is just a click away.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation has been providing quality electric service at a competitive price to residential, commercial, and industrial customers in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida since 1939. For tips and advice on how to save electricity and stretch your energy dollars, call 1-800-262-5131 and speak to your marketing representative. We are a cooperative owned by those we serve.
Hey, Indy.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show, second segment. Montgomery County coming to town this Friday. The Eagles, they're 6-4, I believe, Coach.
They're a good football team. This is a team that's been on the rise last couple of years. It's I think that they've really been waiting for this senior class to come on, and looking at them on film, I think we've seen a bunch of film on them since Saturday and Sunday, and their quarterback is a great athlete, can throw the ball, run the football, and then number 2 in the backfield, he's just a real fast guy. And plus, really, there's no weakness on their football team. Offensively, they're going to line up in the spread. They'll be under center. They'll run some option, look stuff. They'll do a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball that our defense has to prepare for. You look at last year's track results at state track, you'll see Montgomery County all over the state track results. Montgomery has a strong track program. We've seen them the last several years at track meets, and they got some tall kids, big, well-built guys that can really run, and that's really translating over now to the football program. You can see that on the field. Defensively, we're going to get several different fronts, even an odd front, of course, like everybody does. Just very good line play. The DBs have good speed, really working hard this week against some of their press coverages and the blitzes, getting ready for that, what we're going to do with that. I like our game plan, but when it comes to playoffs, it's all about execution and just playing for 48 solid minutes and not letting up. This is a team that if I looked at, I'd say, I think we're both those are pretty equal. Maybe athletically, the nod may go to them athletically. If we were to line up over here on the track, we'd probably lose a track meet to them. If we lined up in the weight room with them, I think it'd be maybe a tie in the weight room with them. So we're going to have to be aware of their team speed, be aware of the things they do on both sides of the ball and special teams, and really try to not allow ourselves to get out of position, because when you're out of position against a team that's faster than you, that's when you get burnt for the long plays, the big plays, and that's going to be something that we're going to really have to be aware of. I think it's going to be a good game. I know that Camden's not playing, and hopefully a bunch of people will come over here and see a good playoff football game. I really expect this to be one of those 4-quarter games that's going to take. It's going to come down to the end. Hopefully we can keep it like that. I think that it's going to be a hard-fought football game, and that's what it's supposed to be in the playoffs. Every round is supposed to be as tough as it can be. It's not supposed to be easy games. We're not looking for easy games, and we sure don't have one in Montgomery County.
Do you, when you're coming into a playoff situation, I know the intensity's it's already up. Do you approach practices any different for playoffs than you do regular season, or does it stay in that same intensity?
Well, in practice, physically the intensity don't go up. Of all these years we've been in the playoffs, I believe that we already know who can hit and who can't. We know who can block and who can't, and all that kind of stuff. So physically we don't have to go out there and beat each other up. Actually, we've backed off, shortened practice. The focus has to be on the mental aspect of the game, and that's where we're really stressing to our players we're not changing anything. We're running the same plays we've been running since back in May. We're doing the same techniques and the same scheme on defense, excuse me, since May. But we got to be doing it perfect right now. There's no reason for us to forget. There's no reason for us to be misaligned. Nothing's new out there. So right now we need the focus level to go up. We're not looking for the intensity level to go up Monday through Thursday. Friday, we're looking for the intensity level to go as high as we can get it, because it's always one and done. We're 48 minutes away from putting the costumes up and going over and playing basketball. So it's the intensity level needs to be as high as it can be from the fans, from the players, from the coaches, but also focus needs to be where it needs to be also. So hopefully we're going to get that. It's different football. Playoff football is different football, and that's what our kids need to understand. It's going to be, it feels different. It's faster. It's more intense. The hitting is more intense. Everything about it is more intense, and we need our kids to step up and play at a higher level if we expect to do well and expect to advance.
As fans, we go to max preps and whatnot to try to see comparisons. And on there, the only common opponent we had was Brantley County, but both teams played them way back in September. Yeah. I don't think you can call either team the same now as they were then.
No, I don't think that's even a very good comparison. We looked at the film, and we know Brantley's a big football team. Brantley was a much bigger football team than we were, and this Montgomery County crowd looks like just the same size as them. So we know that Montgomery's probably a tall, big, physical football team just by looking at the comparison as they're standing on the field with the Brantley players. And, you look back when we played Brantley, we struggled. We struggled to get that win, but we did get it. And Montgomery also, played hard football game, and they also got the win. So really, I don't think you can take much from that at all. I think it's going to be a hard-fought, down to the very end type football game.
This the Manchester quarterback, you may have already hit on it just from a little bit of film I got to see on Max Preps. He looks like he's a mobile, pretty accurate quarterback.
Yeah, the Montgomery quarterback is mobile. He rolls out by design. He'll also get out of danger like AJ, and he'll make big plays. He'll take off running for big plays. He's got a great arm. He can throw the ball in there. Really a good all-around high school quarterback, and really impressed with what he does.
Do we? I know you don't want to give anything away about your defense. Do we attack him? Do we kind of try to keep him contained in the pocket?
Well, there's so many things, so many parts of their offense that we have to consider. I mean, the running back, I think, is going to be the best pure running back we've seen this year in number 2. So you got to prepare for that. You got to prepare for some really skilled, athletic wide receivers. Excuse me. It's going to spread the field. So you can't focus in on one guy, one position so much. You got to be balanced according to the offense. What the offense gives you, you got to be balanced. You got to play it all, and you want to keep it all in front of you. That's the big thing. Keep everything in front of you. Big plays on first down, second down, and try to, third down, get the job done, and hopefully get the punter out there. That's what you're striving for.
I know a few weeks ago you described the game. I believe it was Telfair. Slugfest track meet. Are we looking at a track meet Friday night?
If it's a track meet, I don't like our chances because these guys can run. It's going to be as fast a football team as we faced. Like I said, we see them in track. You look at the track sites in GHSA, and you can see where they've done a tremendous job with their track program. That's something we're really going to push here, is to try to get our track program up to the state level going forward. So no question they have some speed. Now they play some tough people. They play some really physical football up where they're at, just north of us. The Jenkins counties and people like that. A bunch of playoff teams in that thing. So they play some good people.
Friday night, obviously we need everybody here. Need a good large crowd here Friday night to support the Indians. Tickets, I know at the school, are $8. Will they be $8 as well?
They're $8 all the way around. That price is set by GHSA. It's still cheaper than going to a movie. and hopefully better than most movies that are out. So really want everybody to come. It's a great atmosphere in here in the swamp Friday night with the band, cheerleaders, the crowd. We really need to encourage our crowd to be up at playoff level. Last game, I think, everybody's just sitting and enjoying the weather, watching football, but we really need everybody to be involved. We need a lot of fan participation when it comes to playoff time. This will be the last time, most likely, we're going to be at home this year. This will be our seniors' last home game, most guaranteed. So hopefully we can do it the right way, and Montgomery County is going to come in. Hopefully they look around and say, Charlton County really knows how to put on a playoff game. Their fans, their players, everybody. So the challenge is to our players to rise their play up. The challenge is to our fans to rise up also. So hopefully we'll have a very energetic crowd. And
bring the noise makers.
Bring the noise makers, and when we're on defense, let it go. When we're on offense, then you can sit quietly. But until we score a touchdown, of course. But when we're on defense, our defensive kids, they love for the crowd to really get into it. They really feed off those guys. So when we're on defense, if everybody can get up and stomp their feet and make a lot of noise makers, we've got some kids on the field, some defensive football players that really, truly appreciate that.
Air horns legal or not?
Until somebody tells you they're not, I think they are. I'm not sure.
All right, Coach. The Friday night kickoff, 7:30, right here in the swamp. No more B team. We're done.
We're done.
Nothing else.
We're done.
School Friday? No.
Well, we don't have school Friday, which I don't think shouldn't be a problem. We're going to adjust our game day schedule, but we're not going to adjust it so much to where we're going to kind of make that the focus of our kids. So we're going to bring them in a little later, and we'll have, of course, pre-game meal and meetings and film, just like a regular game day. So hopefully maybe they'll be well rested and have time to focus during the morning on getting ready for a playoff game.
I want to thank, we have some playoff specific sponsors that helped out with the GHSA fees. Folkestone Furniture, The Crossings, Quick Chick Folkestone, TNT Building Supply, ORMC, United, Federal, and I know I'm missing somebody. I got them on the website though, but I want to thank all those folks.
Yeah, we really appreciate the community support. The reason why not every community does what you do is because not every community can get the community support behind it. And that's the difference, is this community is going to support things for kids. And I've always seen it. I've seen it over the last 30 years, and I really appreciate all those people you mentioned.
Oh, ESP Fabrication, Mark Pickering out there.
Yep.
Got to thank those guys as well. They've been fantastic this season for us. Anything else you want to hit on, Coach, before we leave?
Just,
I know you.
Like I said, hopefully we'll just, everybody shows up ready to get it going. We're gonna we'll need a big crowd here. No matter what the weather, let's get here. It's playoff football time in the swamp. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a home playoff game. We really need to get everybody out and make a lot of noise and have a good time.
No school Friday. Get out here and tailgate.
That's right.
Make an event out of it.
Start tailgating.
All right, Coach. Thank you for watching the Coach Mack Show. We'll see y'all Friday night. Come out here and tailgate. Kickoff at 7:30. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it, Coach.
Fans, did you know you're eligible to join United First Federal Credit Union? We are your hometown financial institution offering services such as online banking, mobile deposit, free checking, and much more. And if you're in the market to purchase a vehicle, our auto loan rates start as low as 2.49%. We are conveniently located at 3773 2nd Street in Folkestone. Rates and terms subject to conditions, federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender.
ESP Specialist in Fabrication is located at 169 Little Phoebe Church Road in Folkestone, Georgia. President Mark Pickering and his employees utilize the latest technology with a skilled workforce to supply customers with the best custom fabrication possible. Serving clients at home and abroad makes ESP a premier employer in Charlton County. For all your specialty and fabrication needs, contact ESP at 912-496-2583 today. They're also on Facebook at ESP Specialist Fabrication. ESP is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
Folkestone Auto Supply, located